Yeah. Hey. Woo. Wow. Let's go.
Check 1 2 1 2 1 2.
Untamed.
Check. Is this thing on?
Yeah.
Wake up.
Man,
Wake up. Oh, wake up.
Wake up, 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 wake up. Wake up, 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 wake up. You better wake up from this dream.
what's happening?
Life is not what it seems.
Wake up.
You better unplug or be a casualty. Cause the life that we lose in the drug and influence is keeping us off from our greatness.
Shout out to Sherman Wells.
Stop hating. Then rearrange.
Shout out to Drunk Ship Coffee.
Murder and death to building our wealth.
First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
And teaching my people to love themselves. I'm crashing on competition. That's an interference with the commission. Man, we tired of listening, so we said enough. Unification amongst us. Wake up, wake up, wake up.
Yo.
Wake up, 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 wake up.
Wake up. Time to wake up. Good morning. You're listening to First Sky Omaha in the morning. Mark Meadows says, I'm awake. I'm awake already. Sherman.
Okay. Well, what kind of awake are you, though?
You might be awake, but are you woke? No.
See? I like what you did there.
Yeah, man. Good morning.
Stay woke.
Apologize for being late on the 10-minute start time. I mistimed everything this morning because I didn't get one wink of sleep last night. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
one
but
iota.
I will say you look less zombie-fied than you did a few minutes ago. Yeah.
Go in there, splash the cold water, slap my face, drum ship shots.
Well, we're here.
And listen to Sherman Wells telling me to wake up.
There you go.
That's what's up. And I appreciate you guys getting up early. As you know, the 7 o'clock hour is when we start the hard news, but we want to get on, a little bit early before that so we can get the hellos and how you doings.
Hello.
In to the fam. Good morning, fam. Appreciate you. Pop says good Monday morning, First Sky. And as always, mad love from Las Vegas. Appreciate you, Pop.
Hey.
Michelle Moreno says good morning, everyone. Julie Princess says, I am woke. Good morning. I heard that.
All right.
What's up? Sean McCarthy in the house. Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone had a good weekend. It's a very political weekend for sure.
Active.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Bob Pop said, me either, son. Yeah, I heard that.
Ain't getting no rest.
Not a wink. I don't know what's going on, man. My creative juices got me back nocturnal, I think is what's happening.
Yeah.
As soon as I start working on some music or doing something, then all of a sudden my sleep gets weird.
Mm-hmm. You kind of open up the portal and ideas just start pouring in, and you can't control when that happens. It's just like, yeah,
which is fine most of the time, but when you get a show on Mondays and Wednesdays,
got things to do.
Kimmer Snipes in the house. Good morning, y'all. What's happening?
Hey,
Marlon Harrison gives us a good morning. First Sky fam. Christy Norris says good morning. All right, fam, coming in. I appreciate you guys.
Yeah. How was y'all weekend? What'd you get into?
Do? You guys go to anybody go to the Tim Walls thing that happened?
Yeah. Or are you getting down with Robert F. Kennedy? Let us know.
And that dude.
Hey. Look, again, we're not here to tell you who to vote for, just to give you as much information, and factual information as we can, and to sift through the minutia and let you decide for yourself.
We're not even here to tell you to vote. Do what you want. Probably a good idea if you do, though.
Yeah, it probably is. Is a good idea. But if you don't, I can't shame you. I was once there. I was definitely once there. Like, man, my vote don't matter. But seen it firsthand.
Funny thing, we found out it does.
Funny thing. Yeah.
For all the non-believers out there, including myself too. Black Dynamite in the chat saying good morning. Appreciate that. Mama God in the house said delayed startup on FB this AM, but we are here. Yeah, that wasn't. I can't blame it on Facebook. This morning that was me.
That was us.
Yeah, I fully miscounted how much time I had left to get started, but there was a little bit of an FB hiccup this morning that I spent a bunch of time on fixing. So
really,
Restream did that thing again. So like,
okay.
I almost left it. Almost was like, I gotta just leave a note and tell everybody from FB to come to YouTube. Because it wasn't connecting. So we finally got it up and running right in time.
Count your days, Mark.
Yeah, man. Old Zuck at it again. Speaking of social media moguls, you see Elon Musk just he's giving away $1 million to voters in Pennsylvania,
No, I didn't see that. What?
bro.
I'm
So
still
they're like,
on the whole iRobot rollout.
well, that ain't nothing compared to what he's trying to do right now.
Man.
He's got this thing where he's like, I'm picking a voter, a day to give $1 million to, and all you gotta do is sign this pledge about voting and register and blah blah blah. And so of course, like they're like, well, that's fully illegal.
Yeah, I was gonna say, does it say to vote for who?
Well, I mean, he's out here rallying for Trump, and part of his pledge has got that in there. Yeah, it's crazy because the news is like, so there's people investigating on whether or not this is illegal. It's fully illegal. You can't you remember we reported on last election. You couldn't even give somebody water in line without getting arrested because then you're paying somebody to go vote.
True.
And this fool giving away $1 million. Christy Norris says, I went to the Blue Dot event yesterday. Tell me how was it? Yeah,
you're a Blue Dotter.
Let me know how it was. Kimmer Snipes says, I went to KC. What was going on in KC? Let me know what's happening.
Yeah.
Rome's Review says the wife and I celebrated our 10-year wedding anniversary at the Lee Lodge in the Arbor Day Farm in Nebraska City.
Okay.
Congratulations, bro.
Amongst the trees.
Congratulations, my man. 10 years. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Happy anniversary, brother.
And to many more, brother.
Magic Miller Jenkins in the chat. Politics is the reason you struggle, and without being engaged, it will be the reason we continue to struggle. We got to start being politically educated to get us to a better place as a society.
Man,
believe that.
Man. I will pivot and push back a little bit.
Okay.
I guess I agree.
Go ahead.
I guess I agree with being politically educated, but I would say more so civics. Like, we need to be more civic minded. It's the politics that makes being civic minded, so hard. It's the politics that we get into that's distracting, but we still have a civic duty and got to keep that top of mind.
And we go ahead and keep that top of mind as we start the show. 7:00 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, we appreciate everybody that's joined us early this morning. And you're here. It's time for a fresh edition of First Sky Omaha in the morning.
Let's start the show.
Hey, what I didn't get no in the morning. Good morning. Get ready to chime in. You're listening to First Sky Omaha in the morning.
My
name is Paul B. He's Buddy to God.
Hey.
Right now we're speaking with the chat chimers. All the chat chimers that came in early this morning for the hellos and how you doing. Appreciate you coming in.
Hey.
Appreciate all the ghost listeners that's firing up now, and also the monitoring spirits. Of course, we love you too. Appreciate you guys joining us this morning. It is Monday. What is it? October the 21st already. I know a lot of people going around. I know people still going around here celebrating Halloween coming up, and a bunch of people call, say they're getting their costumes and stuff. Are you getting your costumes together? You guys doing that? Is people still doing that? What's happening? Let us know.
Yeah.
The political stuff that's been going on here this past weekend, though, is kind of like Halloween. All these characters standing up here. It's kind of crazy. And it went down, and we see that there's some people out in the chat already that said they went down and checked it out. Christy Norris says, I made the dot. And then they handed out walk packs. It was good. So I appreciate you guys who went out there and is coming back and giving us some reports on what's going on here. There was a lot that happened this weekend. We'll definitely dive in and talk about it. But yeah, in the meantime, between time, do us a favor, share the show on your page. We can get as many people in the discussion as we can. We'll definitely go through some community news and also some of the headlines. And then the 8:00 hour, we will definitely dive into some more discussion. And also we have, it's Monday, so we have the senators coming on today. We're anticipating Senators Terrelle McKinney and Justin Wayne. and I'll speak to them about what's going on here in the legislature and politically as well. So it'll be a civics political conversation today again.
Yeah.
And yeah, but there's other things going on too, buddy. What's happening in the community?
Man, yeah, definitely a lot of love to the community and a lot of love to the community tuned in right now. Thank you for tuning in. As always, let your mind be free, let your voice be heard, all of that good stuff. Um, 1 second. Looks like they Googled and just signed me out.
Mm, say what?
Yeah,
Just on the humbug, huh?
just on the humbug. I don't know what that's about. My apologies, y'all. But yes. Again, shout out to everybody in the community, everybody tuned in right now.
I'll let you go ahead and get in there, and I'll go ahead and read a
No,
couple
I'm
more.
in. I'm in. We rolling.
Oh,
We
okay,
rolling.
okay.
Yeah. Come on. I got it.
I'm glad it
But
wasn't
yeah,
me, 'cause I would have been looking for the password still. Go ahead.
nah. Again, we appreciate y'all tuning in. As Paul mentioned, if you got into any of the things going on over the weekend, let us know. And definitely want to start out with a shout out to what's becoming kind of the new headquarters a little bit, the Assembly of the Saints.
Hey,
Again, they had the breaking down the ballot event. Shout out to Sherman Wells. I saw Peyton Zyla was out there. Had the candidates in the building. Actually, several candidates. Some we heard from, some we haven't heard from, at least on this show. So again, big shout out to everybody that was there as far as candidates, those in the audience. If you were in the audience, let us know what was your take. How do you feel about the situation? Looks like some good information was covered there, not just again the candidates, but going down the full ballot. Some of the issues that are on the ballot that you, the voter, will have an opportunity to directly decide on. Which actually we'll be talking about some of that later on today. So big shout out to everybody that was in the building. Also, speaking of buildings, man, shout out to Sherman Wells, brother Myron Pierce, and also sister Anjali. They're building, yeah, they're building in a different way, man. Again, if you don't remember, there was kind of a local community news of some discrimination, some mistreatment that was going on at a local gas station
man.
on 60th and Ames. And man, beautifully, the community stepped up, came together, and actually looks like things are looking up in that area. Shout out to Sherman Wells here in the video on Friends of. Kind of diving into some of the updates, some of the changes. It looks like there were some policy changes and things like that. But just an example, just a powerful example of what it means, to build relationships, not just with government entities like the police, like the city, but also some of your private businesses that are in the community. Again, I think of Paul. You might know where I'm going with this. The Watts riots. The relationship between some of the Asian shop owners in the black community in LA that caused some rips and some things going on out there. So again, it can get bad when when the relationship isn't on the up and up. So again, big shout out to Sherman Wells, Myron Pierce, Sister Anjali, everybody that was involved with that situation. It's all about being civically engaged, and that's a different form of civic engagement. So big shout out, beautiful situation. Definitely urge you to check out that video again on Friends of if you haven't already. A few things, events, some apps to look out for, some apps that already went down. Shout out to the BAA, their community meeting that's going down next week. Again, talking about being civically engaged and organizing as a community, organizing as a people. Because again, the Constitution starts with we the people, and if we the people ain't peopling, then what we doing? What we doing?
What we doing?
With us. Yeah. Again, it starts with society and us banding together, man. So again, shout out to the BAA, doing it for the people as always, and really bringing it together. So if you haven't gone to one of the BAA community meetings, definitely, kind of closed door, real community meeting, actually coming with some plans, coming together with some ideas and some action to make sure that the community is safe and flourishing. So big shout out to Brother Kasim, the whole team at the BAA. Also, shout out to all my Vikings out there, man. Again, let me get a little selfish, a little personal, man. Shout out to all my alma mater, Omaha North. Again, we got state senators coming out of our halls, NFL players, radio hosts.
Hey,
Yeah. Shout out to all my Vikings out there, man. V's up. I'm a second generation Viking. Yeah, had our centennial 100 years of Vikings.
man, 100 years.
Yeah, man.
That's some history.
It is. If I'm doing the math right, I believe that puts Omaha North in existence at the same time as Brother Malcolm. Was that?
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, if it's 100 years old, then yeah, he he was around. He was down the street.
All right, all right. So I could have been there. Brother Malcolm was a Viking. I don't know. Let me
No, he was out of there by 3 years old. He wasn't starting.
let me stop. Let me stop. But yes, V's up, V's up. Get some V's up. Again, shout out to my principal brother Gene Haynes. And yeah, all the Vikings out there. We appreciate y'all. Yeah. Also, speaking of Omaha North, they're also doing it. We are still in Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and they will be having a pink pancake cookout giveaway. Again, come together to get some pink pancakes and also honor again brothers and sisters who are, again, brothers and sisters, men and women who can get breast cancer. Again, make sure you are getting tested, make sure you're aware of the symptoms, of the dangers, and even if you are not yourself dealing with it, you can support families and individuals dealing with it with this pancake fee. So again, $15, all you can eat pancakes. I think it's the Pancake Man, been flipping jacks for as long as I can remember.
Flapping them jacks.
Yeah, man. So check him out.
So this is a fundraiser? Is that what
Yes.
you said? Okay,
Yes.
got it. So no testing on site or anything like that. Just all you can eat pancakes.
No, I guess not. That would have been nice though. That if they, I don't know, if you bring a
I would
mammogram machine or
Yeah, I'd actually like to put that out there. If you guys know of any resources where people can go get tested for free, especially for free,
man.
let us know, because I know that comes up every year, that there's places out there that you can go if you don't have the money to go get tested, still can get tested. So
Nice.
yeah, let us know if you know.
Yeah, and again, remember, men can get breast cancer as well. Actually, it's reported that is more frequent than testicular cancer. So, yeah, man, look into it. Moving along, also shout out to again the breaking news that was huge. Last episode, news broke about again formerly incarcerated brothers and sisters being able to vote. And again, there was a deadline that passed on Friday, the 18th, was the deadline to register online. So we do want to continue to push that you can go in person until October 25th. So again, if you know any brothers and sisters that were formerly incarcerated that were on the fence thinking about getting civically engaged, and this news kind of pushed them away, kind of turned them away, then reach out, let them know that there is still hope, there's still an opportunity. Again, thousands and thousands of Nebraskans, thousands and thousands of votes, let's call it what it is, hanging in the balance. And with all the attention both locally and nationally being pointed towards Omaha, you never know. You never know how things might swing. So again, reach out to your loved ones, reach out to your fam, let them know there's still hope. October 25th is the deadline. And also, some other things to look out for. It is trick or treat season. So again, of course, protect the kids. Make sure you're going to safe and friendly, family friendly events like Mr. K's trunk or treat and other trunk or treats that's coming up. I believe, there's a trunk or treat at the Village that's coming up, 24th and Lake on the Deuce.
On the Deuce
This weekend, man. Again, doing it for the babies. Free candy, costume contest, some live jams, some snacks, cake walk.
Yeah, man. Shout out to the Empowerment Network for putting this on with the rest of the gang over there.
Yeah, man, it's going down in the Village. Actually, the Deuce is becoming more and more alive. Again, a lot of people say, why can't we have the same energy as Omaha days down on the Deuce? And I'm seeing, more and more things. Katie Rain just had the event down in the Village. Of course, they just had the Greek block party down on the Deuce. So yeah, get down there, support.
Yeah, and I just saw Sunday nights. They have a little jam session down there at the little park over there. Yeah. I was like, okay, that's what's up. I saw some family members out there and stuff. I have to go check it out next Sunday night. So yeah, more activity happening on the Deuce as we speak.
Yeah, man, getting down. Also, I do want to remember. Almost forgot Mr. K's Christmas party coming up as well. I think you might have pulled that up and I glossed over it. So yeah, I do want to also acknowledge that. Prepare for that. And Christmas season is around the corner as well. Mr. K's magical Christmas party. I actually had a conversation with Mr. K over the weekend, and we got some things brewing. So kind of excited about seeing what we can do with Mr. K getting involved again. First Guy is all about the babies.
There you go.
Yeah, man, all about the baby. So if you want to get down,
you got to sign up to register for the Christmas party. I would suggest you do it early. I went ahead and put the link in the chat there for you to register for this. Registration open on the 16th, so it's going now.
There you go. Yeah, so tap in, man. Mr. K gets down. New movie out on YouTube. Yeah, he's got some things brewing, man. So actually, we'll be having him on the show here soon. So yeah, look out for that. Moving along, kind of wrapping up our community shout outs. I do want to, I guess not really a community shout out, but it's a part of a different community we're a part of. Paul and I are musicians, some hip hop heads, and I know Paul. We didn't really talk about this, but the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, man. Come on, man. Shout out to Tribe Called Quest.
Yeah.
Rest in peace to Fife Dog.
Yeah, man. That's the deal. That's the real deal right there. There's a musical community that's happening right now, and believe it or not, like Dave Chappelle is really a part of all that. He
Oh
was
yeah,
actually the one that announced them and brought them in. You know, he kind of travels around with Robert Glasper and you know Terrace Martin here from Omaha. And, you know what I'm
man.
saying? Like Omaha connects, Omaha ties. So it was good to see him be able to give them the Hall of Fame award and you know them get recognitions, man. That's huge. It's
Man,
huge. Shout out to
man.
Tribe. Shout out to
Yeah,
Tribe.
yeah. Shout
Legendary group that has shaped the culture in the biggest way possible.
even down here in Atlanta, man. Again, what Q-Tip and them was doing, touched the hearts of little Andre Benjamin. It made him, man. Yeah, yeah, very, very legendary crew, man. So shout out to Tribe Called Quest getting the recognition that they deserve. And also, while we on that, OG still working, OG still doing it. Ice Cube, man, dropped a new track over the weekend. Yeah, yeah. Shout out to my OG Big DJ Funky, man, kind of doing a production. Ice Cube coming out a new album, man. We always talk about the legend. Always talk about Ice T. I know we got a lot of West Coast watchers out there. Yeah, look out for it.
There you go, man. Kimmer in the chat is talking about something coming up from the ground up. Is October 29th at the Benson Theater at 6:00 p.m. It's the last installment of our environmental justice series.
Nice.
So make sure that you turn up for those talks. Those talks, you know, working at the theater, those were the talks that got the most attention. They're very entertaining and always very informative. She's always bringing great guests on. And shout out to One Omaha and Kimber, the One Omaha team, and Kimber Snipes leading. And yeah, definitely show up October 29th, the
Yeah.
last installment of the Environmental Justice Series. I highly encourage you guys to go check it out for real.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. EJ is definitely something we need to talk about more. What you got?
Hey, real quick, Mark Manner says Kyle Eustace from Omaha was there covering this the event and hanging out with all of them. Shout out to Kyle Eustace, is one
Yeah.
of the dopest writers in the country, man, for the culture, and is right here from Omaha. You know what I'm saying? She's out in Colorado now, but from Omaha, strong, got them strong ties. Something else happened over the weekend too that we didn't really talk about. Apparently, Andre 3 was walking around downtown just hanging out
In Omaha?
in Omaha.
What?
No announcement, no nothing, no bodyguards, no nothing, just mobbing around town because
What?
like a regular dude. And somebody mentioned, you know, the shift in the fact that he made this big shift in his career to the point where he can come to Omaha and just walk around unbothered is dope.
Man. I mean,
Connie Franco from from Mean Streets, he's the only cat that got a picture with him. But he was
really?
mobbing around downtown, bro, just hanging out. Probably stopped somewhere and pulled his flute out somewhere or something. Yeah, man. So yeah, shout out to the music, it's all about
Yeah,
the love
music.
supreme, bro. If we don't have that, then what are we fighting for? You know what I'm
Man,
saying?
what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? So actually speaking of that, kind of our internal news, not necessarily what's going on in the community, but out of our love supreme, man, we just dropped a new website. Definitely excited about that. Shout out to those of you who are already subscribed to the weekly wrap. You kind of maybe, if you read my letter to the editor, got a tip to that and hopefully checked it out. And those of you who have purchased shirts, I'm sure you've been poking around as well, man. We appreciate those who have already checked out the website, cop some merch, things like that, man. So yeah, we are rolling out our new website, firstsky.omaha.com. Again, that's firstsky.omaha.com, new and improved. We got some things rolling out, and yeah, very, very, very excited. And right now, at this moment, yeah, go ahead, show them, Paul. Get a hold of that. Check it
Yeah,
out.
it's got a little screenshot, but yeah,
Yeah, man.
shout out to we've been working on this for a little while, man. Shout out to
Yeah,
Stable Gray who kind of got us started on this journey.
got the
And
ball rolling.
now it's here. We want we're breaking it to you guys first. We want you to kind of dip around and check it out and give us some feedback.
Yeah,
And before we do a big launch to the public. So shout
yeah.
out. Appreciate you guys.
Yep, firstsky.omaha.com. Check us out. And also, if you want to be part of the news gang, that's the next thing that we're building. Again, we rolled out our content creators camp last year, and that's kind of the beginning stages of that. If you're not necessarily familiar with media production, social media creation, or writing, or any kind of media, anything, again, we definitely want to arm you with some skills. But if you're just interested in writing, if you just want to have your voice heard, if you're in the community, definitely check us out. Email us firstguyomaha@gmail.com, firstguyomaha@gmail.com. We're looking for you. We're looking for those in the community that want to tell their story, and we'll help you do that.
Word up.
There you go. So
Right on.
yeah, that does it for our community news. Again, a few people rolling through. I see Sister Jacola Yarborough in the chat. Definitely would love to get your take on the breaking down the ballot event yesterday. Yeah,
Wait,
yeah.
you got to say the whole thing like a Tribe Called Quest. Jaqueline
Okay,
Yarborough for Douglas County Board, District 3, North Omaha, in all caps.
there you go. Right in. Write that
Right.
in. Write
Put
that
some
in.
respect on her name. Put some
Yeah,
respect on her.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Black Dynamite coming through.
What up? What up?
RG. Yeah, what's up, y'all? Top of the morning.
Yeah,
What's
shout
the
out to
word, Paul?
Stardale Stable Gray, man, the fam, bro. I'm trying to tell you, man, we got some black media going on around here big time. So shout out to
Yeah.
all the fam.
Yeah, they got the ball rolling, man. Helped us out on that. So yeah, big shout out to them.
Sure. So it's time for a little bit of top headline news. We appreciate everybody that's been putting stuff in Friends of First Sky Omaha, which is the first place we go
Yeah,
to
man.
pull stuff that we'll find out what you guys want to talk about, what's top of mind for our community. So we really appreciate everybody doing that. In the meantime, between time, what's first on the agenda?
Man, so yeah, again, aside from what's happening in the community as far as our headlines, a lot of things politically in the main media, main news headlines, and very active political weekend in Omaha, specifically, all eyes nationally really pointing towards District 2, as we affectionately call it, the blue dot, and kind of starting with a few of the chat chimers. Again, a few said that they were out there at a Memorial Park, blue dotting it up. They had the event had the event where I guess they made a human blue dot. People came together, they took the picture in honor and kind of building the energy, if you will, to rally the blue dot. So and reasonably so. Again, it's not just the individuals living in the community, but as I mentioned, nationally, a lot of attention being poured towards the blue dot. While Kamala Harris was down here in Atlanta, kicking it with Usher, getting down. Tim Walls was there in Omaha, getting down with the likes of Jasmine Harris and brother Peyton Zyla, behind them. So again, if anybody went to that, definitely would love to hear your take on that situation, and we'll be talking about it a little later on. And maybe if you're on the other side, again, we're not here to tell you who to vote for, just hoping that you do vote. RFK also visited the Omaha area to kind of stump the ground, put the boots to the roots for Trump,
I
if you
I didn't
will.
get no pictures for him.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. It happened. Just know that.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you did happen to get some pictures, let us know. We'd definitely love to hear your take on it. As always, let your mind be free, let your voice be heard. But in other news, definitely some things to dive into, to look out for, some updates, especially in the light of the police shootings that happened in Omaha over the last month or so. Looks like Chief Schmaderer is chiming up about some training mandates that he wants to push. And then also on the other side, Sheriff Aaron Hansen is making his own headlines, looking like for the wrong reasons, though, getting a complaint for a recent political ad targeting candidate Tony Vargas. I don't know if you saw that, but we'll be talking about it. Also, in other headlines, looks like Kamala Harris is pushing for her campaign with an interesting angle, a black male voter plan, which, again, very often black men say that they feel that they're left out of the elections and not really directly addressed in a lot of people's platforms. But looks like Kamala has a plan, and there's a conversation going on about black men, and specifically in their vote. And I kind of want to dive into that, especially with our guest a little later on, brother Senator Terrelle McKinney. Put some respect on his name. Will be joining us a little later on in the show. So definitely looking forward to speaking to him about that and more. Again, medical marijuana making headlines. There's some chiming up and some challenges going on with that. So yeah, we'll be talking about all that and more here on the, again, first, or really 2 hours of First Guy Omaha in the morning. And in the meantime, between time, Paul B.
Yo.
What's the word? What's the word?
Man, we'll take a quick break and come right back. I appreciate everybody hanging with us. And like I said, thanks for putting a lot of these articles in Friends of First Guy Omaha. Friends of First Guy Omaha, the group page on Facebook. That's kind of where the conversation continues when we're not live. But when we are live, we highly encourage you to please share the show so we can get as many people in on the conversation as we can. And also like and subscribe over there on YouTube. YouTube is kind of where we're leaning. Facebook gives us problems a lot of times, so we kind of lean over on the YouTube side.
Yeah.
We're gonna have more things that we're gonna put out on YouTube as well. So we highly encourage you to go over to YouTube, get your account set up, and like, subscribe, hit the bell, do all the things if you would. And yeah, man, we'll come back and talk about a few things going on. I see some comments in the chat we'll get to, and of course, stay with us. If you stay with us through the 8 o'clock hour, more discussion to come. In the meantime, between time, we'll take a quick break and come right back. This is First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul B. Trying to get right near the beach. He's Buddy the Guy. Stay tuned. Be right back. Welcome back. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul B. Just want to give a little shout out to my man Mike Mackian, his friend of First Sky Omaha. He's one of the best photographers around. He was out there for the rally with Walls and got a bunch of really, really good shots.
Okay.
And he's got a folder up on this page that I'm gonna put in the chat. Link to that and check out the rest of the shots. But man, is super, super talented, and he's moving a little bit towards the news gang side, man. He's usually the cat that you see out there doing photos at Fashion Week and all the concerts and stuff like that. But he's more and more getting into the political game a little bit and getting some good shots. So I just want to give him a shout out because we're using his photos right now. Definitely go to his page and check out the rest of the shots and check out the rest of what he got. And hire him for the wedding and all that stuff if you need to as well. So shout out to Mike Mackey and friend of First Sky Omaha.
Support.
And like all of y'all, friends, First Sky Omaha. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah. Friends are talented.
Man, talented artist friends. So soldiers on the front line. That's what it is. Appreciate you guys returning with us and sticking with us, buddy. You want to go ahead and jump into first story?
Yeah, let's go ahead and jump into it. And really, it's kind of just a jumble of stories. Because again, it's very, very politically active weekend. A lot of things going on both sides of the aisle. Again, the Blue Dot had their own rallies, and Tim Walz came and they had the Blue Dot event in Memorial. And again, RFK was here. But I want to start off with what went down in North Omaha and the community for the people doing it for themselves, to educate themselves. Shout out again to everybody that was involved with the whole breaking down the ballot event at the Assembly of the Saints. I see we have Sister Jaquela Yarborough for Douglas County Board District. I can't see her name. Well, say the whole thing. But again, going for Douglas County Board. Yeah, I know she was there. I saw Sister Ashley Spivey was there. Sister brother Terrelle McKinney. So again, if you are a candidate and you were there, or if you're not and you're a voter that was there, I would definitely love to get your take. Was this informative? Guys, that's kind of the big thing. Again, it's one thing to inform ourselves and educate ourselves on the candidates, but it's a whole other conversation to really wrap our head around some of the ballot initiatives, because again, the language is so hard just in itself. Like wrapping our head around, take school choice, for instance, which is an issue that is going to the ballot. But again, just the first level, what is the law? What's happening? Is it taking public dollars? Is it not? That's been a whole conversation. And then on top of that, understanding how the ballot is wording the thing. Again, you have double negatives and false positives. and again, it's like if I vote for it, am I voting against it? Or it can be confusing. So again, shout out to those who are trying to clarify those things. If you were not able to make it to the Assembly of the Saints over the weekend to get some information, there are some voter guides that we would like to point you to. I would actually here I have one from the Nebraska Examiner. I know we've been posting the one from Flatwater Free Press, but Nebraska Examiner has a pretty good one as well as very cut and dry, straight to the point. And again, this is something that is important, especially on the especially on the ballot initiatives, because again, you can vote on a candidate, and the candidate can get in office, and they can deliver on the promises, or they can't. But again, these ballot initiatives are the opportunity for the voters to change law and to have their voices directly heard, and not to rely on a middleman, or to actually have their will go forward. So again, go to the polls, exercise that will, vote. And again, check out this Nebraska Examiner guide if you have any questions. I know Mama God, and a few other people, calling, having questions. And again, shout out to her who's already voted. And she's gone through her questions and went in early and voted. But if you still haven't, if you're still asking questions, you're still scratching your head, yeah, definitely check it out. Educate yourself as much as possible. Paul, what say
Yo,
you?
yo. Yeah, man. I appreciate that. I was looking for the Flatwater Free Press link because they have a one you can do on your phone and kind of dial in some questions. They kind of dial it in pretty good, so you can make your own searches and check it out
Nice.
too. I'll find that and put that in the chat. But yeah, this is definitely that time to be kind of looking at these things. And I want to remind everybody to take a look at those judges, man. You got to kind of do your research
Man,
on the judges too. We get in there and we forget about that, and then all of a sudden we got all these judges that we could be voting on whether or not they stay in, or they need to move on out. And so if you got some experience, especially if you got experience, share that so people can kind of know what's going on. With the judges aren't out here doing campaigns like other politicians are. So you don't even really know them unless you have some kind of interaction with them. But they are directly connected to who they make decisions on what's going on with us
man,
and our families here in a big
man.
way. So
Especially
yeah.
the Supreme Court, as we see, making a decision on, whether or not felons can vote. So definitely, I think there's a 4 judges that are turning over on the Nebraska Supreme Court this year. So yeah, some things to look out for, some things to be aware of. And now we'll actually be talking about some of the Supreme Court cases that are going on with the ballot measures. Of course, abortion is one of the big ballot measures that's coming down. I believe there's 6 different ballot measures. The Protect Women and Children Constitutional Amendment, which again deals with abortion, and the private education scholarship partial referendum, which is again the
Mm,
school choice situation. Paid sick leave is also on the ballot. I believe that's for government employees, and then also Nebraska medical cannabis, which is something that we will be talking about, because there's a story a little later on we can get into it, as far as the challenge on whether or not the Secretary of State is following the law again. Again, the same person who decided to tell election officials not to follow the law, to turn potential voters away. And now there's a question about their challenge, and the legitimacy of the challenge of medical marijuana ballot votes.
mm,
Again, there was a petition to get this medical marijuana on the ballot, and there was enough votes. Petition was successful. They petitioned it, it's on the ballot, but now it's in the Supreme Court, because it's actually 2 different challenges from the Secretary of State and the Attorney General on the legitimacy of those ballots. So, of those petitions. So, we'll be talking about that a little later on, because I have some questions, and I feel like Senator McKinney might be ripe to answer some of that stuff.
there you go. A little later on, we'll get to this story about Sheriff Hansen. I see in the chat there's been some talk there. I think RG said I saw an ad with YouTube with Hansen, and yeah, it ain't a good look for him. I hear that. Also, speaking of ads, Marlon Harris in the chat says a lot of people said they are tired of seeing these political ads from Tony Vargas and to Don Bacon to Donald Trump to Deb Fisher. One
Man,
of my friends said that he even started seeing ads in his dreams. Uh, I've never seen I've
no,
never seen this many ads.
no,
Uh,
no.
fully tired, fully tired. Also, I just want to acknowledge, fully
My
tired of
son
them
is
ads,
too.
bro.
My son is too.
Man, man,
Yeah, he can't even watch Ryan without Kamala Harris.
man. You put moving
He's
in on
tired.
Orion commercials.
Man,
Uh,
he's tired.
Anthony Rogers right in the chat. He says they when necessary politically disruptive. We know about how that's your philosophy, brother, and yeah, we appreciate you for that for sure. And we know that you're out of town, out of the country, as a matter of fact, as well right now. So I appreciate you. I think last time you said it was in the afternoon, so you didn't have to get up too early for us. But I
Okay.
appreciate you coming on anyway, even though you're in the other country. Be safe out there. and
Man.
I can't wait to hear back about your travels and what's been going on. So for sure. Also, Kimra Snipes in the chat says Hansen came back. Oh, she said earlier, she said Ben Salazar filed a complaint against Aaron Hansen to the state regarding him showing up in the commercial with the sheriff uniform on. She said Hansen came back apparently stating it's a fake badge, as if that don't count, at least based on info reported to me. So we're getting a few things in the chat there about this thing coming up. I think it left a really bad taste in a lot of people's mouth
Yeah.
for that to be happening. So yeah, we'll definitely come back to that. But we appreciate you guys chiming up on that one on as well. Mama God says I tried, but hard to find judge info, and it's a lot of judges on the ballot this cycle.
Yeah.
I think Maggie Miller Jenkins says you definitely have to look at the decisions the judges have made since Roe. That's kind of how I looked at it. I tried to look at news articles when I went down the rabbit hole one time trying to figure it out. And I went to news articles to see about big cases that we had reported on, and see if there's any information on what judge it went in front of to try to find out exactly like what's going on. So if anybody has any resources on where you can go to find out what certain judges have ruled what way they ruled, it'd be good to know, because
Yeah.
that's really how you gonna judge whether or not you wanna you want them to be here or not be here. So
How you judge the judges.
how you judge the judges.
Man,
So,
man. But yeah, again, a lot of attention and reasonably so being pointed towards the presidential race. But 39 different races in this election cycle, 39 different races. So yeah, educate yourself, make sure you know which, districts you're in, which legislative districts, which, school district, know where you're at. Know where you're at. So
right.
again.
Appreciate you, Kimmer saying he's showing his true colors. Talking about Hanson. Christy Norris says not to mention all Hanson's racist dog whistles. About the
Mm,
campaigns, Mark Manor is saying no one has ever spent this much money in Nebraska. My nephew was super excited to get a pic with Tony Vargas last week, as he basically a YouTube star to him.
what?
Tony Vargas, I get your autograph.
Man,
You see him on TV more than the shows you watch. That's
man,
really
probably
real.
probably thought he played for Creighton or something.
That's really real, man.
I see him on the court.
Anthony Rogers Rice says in Ramallah. Assalamu alaikum from Palestine. Appreciate you, brother.
Man. Alaikum
Yeah,
salam, brother. Safe travels. Safe travels.
safe travels. Also, we see Michael Watts in the chat. Good morning, saying, and we cannot forget the groups who introduce themselves as nonpartisan, like Nebraska for Us, but only producing one party focused content. Nebraska
Okay.
for Us, yeah. I think from what I remember, they were, yeah, they were really leaning hard in one area, for sure. Also, I see Stacey Jean. You put a link in the chat. What's the link to? Let us know what that link is for. Also appreciate that. Also, Miss Yarbrough says, I'm like, bro, if you don't get off my TV, I'm trying to tell you,
It's too much.
that's the homie. I've never seen this many ads
Man,
and it's permeated everything. It doesn't matter what device you are on,
man.
TV.
Phone,
I don't
tablet.
care what's happening. You're gonna see 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. Don't try to watch Tubi right now.
Man,
You can forget it. You can
man.
forget it.
I can't watch the game. Yeah. Actually, let's go ahead take a break. It seems
Yeah.
like a lot of people are ripe to talk about this, so we'll dive into exactly what's going on with the Aaron Hansen situation, because there is some controversy that is surrounding that situation, and again, some other things going on as far as law enforcement, and of course, we have our special guest coming up a little later on, and I know he got something to say about the police. So yeah, we'll talk about all that and more. First Guy Omaha in the morning.
Yep, we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. Don't you go nowhere. Stay tuned. And yeah, love all the comments. Keep them coming. Keep them coming.
Yeah.
We'll be right back, y'all. Welcome back. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
All B, buddy to God, all of
Yes.
you, chat chimers, ghost listeners, really appreciate you joining us. Don't forget to sign up to the weekly wrap. Our weekly newsletter drops on Friday. Now we're trying to make sure that the conversation continues through the weekly wrap. So if you haven't signed up, please do. I'm gonna give you a code to go ahead and sign up. It'll be real easy. Just drop your email address in. If you don't click that link, then just hit us up on firstskyOmaha@gmail.com with your email address, and we'll go ahead and get that out to you. But yeah, please sign up for the weekly wrap. We're trying to beat the algorithm and get out to more people than Facebook and YouTube will let us.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. We ain't got deep pockets like that where we can just be buying ads everywhere like these cats. Need Tony Vargas money for the ads around.
Man, there it is being reported again. The most money, some of the most money, highest spending on political ads this year in history, in state history. Again,
Miss Yarborough says she ain't gonna lie, she want that money too for her campaign.
I don't blame her.
Yeah, just want to remind you guys, you have to write her in though because of the circumstances. So I like this graphic that she put out here for Douglas County Board District 3. If you want to vote for her, you got to write her in.
Man,
to learn how to spell the name right now. Yarborough.
there you
going
go.
down. Right on. In the meantime, between time, let's go ahead and jump into that, buddy.
Yeah. Again, speaking of all the ads and the political campaigns and the money being poured in, I wonder how much Sheriff Aaron Hansen got paid for this ad that's causing quite a stir. As KMTV reports, a complaint has been filed against Douglas County Sheriff for appearing in a political ad. And I don't know, maybe we need to get Sister Jaquila Yarborough in there because, again, Douglas County commissioners, they, don't they deal with the sheriff? Ain't that your area? Let me know. Yeah, you gotta think about it. But again, not only Sheriff Hansen, but also Tony Connor chiming up in political ads targeted at congressional candidate Tony Vargas. In the ad, of course, why the complaint was filed is what Aaron Hansen was wearing. Apparently, Sheriff Hansen had what looked like to be official sheriff regalia on. He was wearing a vest with the word sheriff on it, along with the badge on his shoulder. And that's what, again, caught South Omaha and Ben Salazar's attention. And Salazar said that the appearance gives off that you're only going to take care or special care to protect and serve people that agree with you politically, which is, an interesting lean. However, Hansen did respond saying, I acquired this badge himself, saying that those are all items, everything I had were things that I acquired personally, none of which were owned by the Douglas County Sheriff's Office. Which is kind of the nuance in this whole situation and whether or not Sheriff Aaron Hansen actually did, break campaign laws. Again, the claim is that the showing of regalia violates the law that prohibits elected officials from campaigning in public property and filed, again, the complaint with the Nebraska Accountability and Disclosure Commission. So, again, it's looking like he didn't actually break any laws, as you see in the picture. It definitely looks like sheriff, official sheriff gear. But again, he apparently toed that line just close enough. But again, what do we feel about, the likes of Aaron Hansen, Tony Connor, attacking Tony Vargas and, showing that stance in a political campaign?
Yeah,
Looks like Kimra's chiming up.
Say again.
I said, looks like Kimra's chiming up already. She's saying he's elected by the people. He deals with us.
Yeah, my question was, he's the sheriff, right?
Yeah, he's Douglas County Sheriff.
And so he went and got some fake sheriff gear to put on.
Yeah. So if you pull up that picture again. So that star on his shoulder, it would looks like a sheriff badge, but that's not an actual. It's a replica. It's almost like a movie badge. That's not what the actual Douglas County Sheriff's badge looks like. So again, it's very nuanced. He's towing the line. It's close, but it looks like he didn't cross the line. So again, the law states that you can't have county gear. So property that's owned by Douglas County that he would have received from Douglas County when he came in as sheriff. That's not what he was wearing. Again, he said it's stuff that looks, his own cop gear. He went to some kind of resale army supply store and got his own stuff.
So I think everybody is feeling a little bit like that's kind of I don't know, Uh, yeah, I don't know. I don't even know what to say about this one, man. Anthony Rogers right in the chat is saying no different than when athletes do commercials wearing jersey with their team colors, but not the team logo. I guess. Um, uh, look at how they play in our face, and we go for it. I do feel like they're playing. I do feel like they're playing. Magic Miller Jenkins had me cracking up. Said it's the star. That's the Star of David he got on his chest. Um, yeah, he wanted us. Kimmer is saying he wanted us to know he's the sheriff when making this statement.
Mm-hmm. So again,
That's the thing that people got a problem with, right?
still flexing,
Power move.
even though he's not showing the official gear, he's still flexing the office.
Yeah. Same thing. We've been talking about the police union for a little while. Tony
Mhm.
Connor. So same thing. I mean, they're gonna people gonna endorse who they're gonna endorse. Like I said, bro, Elon Musk is giving away $1 million a day for people, so they will go all the way illegal and go all the way overboard with this mess. We all know what this is. It feels like we're being like I said, we're being messed with. That's what it feels like. It's in your face. That's really all I can say about it. I mean, my when I can take it, I can make it a little bit more broad for context.
Okay.
For me, I'm not going to be swayed by 100 commercials.
Okay. I'm with you.
So $100 billion in advertising is not going to sway me. No, so if that's where the money goes, it goes in the media in order for you to be swayed by somebody's opinion and somebody's fake badge and so on and so forth. It's not going to sway me. So it doesn't. I don't. So I'm concerned about the people that it would sway. So it is worth a conversation. Should people do what they're doing? I know we make choices about what it is we're going to do here on this show, and personally for endorsements and everything else. So yeah, put some thought into it, and figure out why you're doing what you're doing, but and we don't. We It's not like we can make any power moves like the sheriff can on it, or
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying. So spend the time getting to know the candidate. Spend the time figuring out whether or not you need to make decisions you need to make according to what you think is right or wrong, and not what person on TV is telling you in the first
Talking
place.
head.
Yeah, man. Just here we go. Distraction, distraction, distraction. Aaron, Tony, blah. They're so weird. They're like the cousin always trying to get attention. Sit down, sit down some damn. That's what I'm saying. Sit down. I don't need to see another. I never know what to say on these things about what they're
No, it's
doing. The danger is whether or not they sway somebody with their misuse of power or whatever. They would never sway me, so I can't even speak to it. No amount of money in political ads is going to sway me any further. It'll only sway me to what I'm already going to do in the first place, but that's because I go seek out the information. Most people don't, I guess.
But I will say that there is some conversation to be had just about the Bacon Vargas race. Obviously, is getting very, very tense and contentious. They just had the debates. Anybody make it to that?
Yeah.
Also, speaking of Vargas on the other side, so while he was getting attacked by Tony Connor and Aaron Hansen, he was alongside the likes of Speaker Hakeem Jeffries, who made it through over the weekend. Did anybody make it to that? Actually talking about away from the distractions and talk about the actual platform points that these individuals are running on. One thing that was discussed at the Hakeem Jeffries event was um, uh, Vargas's plan for small businesses, which again is something that we're all about, as far as the health of small businesses. Actually, Vargas has been again. We kind of talk about how we see vacant in the community a lot, and not
Mhm.
really Vargas as much, but it has been reported that Vargas has been in North Omaha and in the areas, talking to small business owners and pounding the pavement as well. So again, has anybody?
Shooting some hoops.
Yeah, shooting some hoops. But yeah, has anybody spoken to Vargas? Has anybody seen these, gone to these events? Let us know. Let us know.
Well, we have. If you remember, Vargas came on the show. You can go
Yeah.
back to the YouTube channel and check out when he came on. We try to ask him a few questions. I remember there were some questions that he answered. We were cool with what he said, and there was some that we weren't. And some things, some questions that kind of got diverted as well. And I think that that's a issue. That's been an issue with everybody too, except for when you look at what the Democrats are pushing. Either if they're trying to highlight the things that are being done. I know the man personally, so I know some of some of the stuff he's after. I don't feel like any one candidate is going to be doing everything completely the way I think it ought to be done in the first
Mhm.
place. And I kind of, so again, maybe it's because I'm in a privileged position to be able to like speak to these people, and part of my job is to dig into these things. But you know, I feel like what I should be doing is encouraging people to not be swayed by this stuff, to go find out for yourself before anything.
Right.
So
And to that point, again, we want to point you to these voter guides because it's not just the ballot issues, but here's this is the Nebraska Examiner voter guide, and it breaks down the issues. So again, if you have not voted yet and you are questioning, okay, where do these people stand? You can go to the Nebraska Examiner or Flatwater Free Press, but that you're looking at is the Nebraska Examiner, and it breaks down where does each candidate stand on the issues. Um,
right.
So again, educate yourselves and yeah, decide for yourselves. Not here to tell you what to vote for, but hopefully you vote.
Yeah, that would be the thing. So, yeah, appreciate that. I see people in the chat going off. Anthony Rogers Rice says we should be spending more money on confronting miseducation, so the Democrats can't blame it on Russia when they lose. Misinformation, that is, he's saying. Marianne Williams is saying Hanson just showing those who don't know exactly how shady he is,
Hmm.
right? RG says, speaking of Bacon Vargas race, write her in, Kimmer for Congress. Also, Mama God says my girl Jasmine Crockett will be here on Thursday with Vargas. Okay,
Okay.
that's what's up. Anthony Rogers Rice says even if you actually get to speak to Vargas, it's not him you're speaking to; it's the DCCC talking points he regurgitates. Okay. Michael Watts says doing and saying are two different things. The current candidates are mainly saying with little proof of what they have done.
Okay.
That kind of happens to me. That's happened in every election. They kind of make a
Yeah,
whole lot of promises.
that's the thing.
Kimmer says a lot of people don't know I was on the receiving end of a lot of hate behind not supporting him. A lot of people who looked like me.
But behind not supporting Vargas,
Yeah, who you speaking
yeah,
of not supporting? Yeah, appreciate everybody's comments here on this. I think everybody, this is it's funny, man. We're looking at what's in the headlines, and of course it's all political right now because
yeah,
as of tomorrow, it's 2 weeks before the election. So everybody is talking to everybody about all this stuff, and everything that everybody's gone to is being these rallies, and we just talked about how you cannot circumvent these ads, bro. You can't get away
can't
from them.
can't escape it. You can't escape it. You have to literally like intently unplug and go under a rock to get away from the fact that election season is upon us. We're 2 weeks away and 5 days away from the registration deadline. So yeah.
Yeah. Kimber says, should we talk about Aaron Hansen? So
Ah, okay, okay, okay.
yeah. Yeah, but remember, he was when he was running, Brother Gonzalez was running against him, and that was kind of the move. And then
Yeah, that
there
whole
was all that
situation.
controversy, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Always some political drama, always something
Man,
going on.
man. Yeah. Actually, speaking of that, there was a video that Aaron Hansen posted on Facebook that was reposted on Friends of. A lot of chat chimers had a lot to say about that, and I wanted
Mm,
to bring that up as far as Aaron Hansen talking about some of the youth situations going on, and again, that was actually kind of the sentiment, the message that he shared in the Tony Vargas ad
right.
as far as letting individuals go. And a big thing is about the threat of the youth that they're calling. The risk is what Aaron Hansen is calling as far as youth again getting in trouble, getting into things and not being held behind bars. They get in trouble, they get sent home, and it's kind of emboldening the behavior in a lot of people's eyes. And this is something that we talked about here on the show several times. But again, Aaron Hansen is kind of pushing that message as well. And again, a lot of people had things to chime up about as far as money being poured into, certain programs and efforts that aren't working, and programs that are working that are not getting the money. So again, I'd love to hear from Chad Chambers that saw that video. And if you haven't, definitely go check it out. Friends of First Sky Omaha on Facebook. If you're not already a member of that, go ahead and join the group.
I actually posted that because I was very much, like jarred a little bit by the fact that he did this whole video from the sheriff's office, speaking on stuff that's going on in our neighborhoods in the way that he has. And this, if I mean, maybe not used to it, not sure. If I'm not used to seeing this, it seems a little bit more like he's like out on social media way more than, I mean,
A
that's the
little
only way
bit.
that I see him. You know what I'm saying? Like it seems
Yeah.
funny. Seems
Right.
funny to me. Kimmer's reminding us that Aaron Hansen wants the LB 620 to be reintroduced, arresting 12-year-olds as adult, detaining 9-year-olds, and all the rest of the stuff on that bill. So yeah, that's just a reminder. That's what he's on. Mama God is saying Stacey Abrams, political advocate in Georgia, says candidates aren't saviors but partners. Just ask yourself, which partner would you rather partner with, knowing they can't do it all.
It's
Great
good.
advice.
Man, yeah. Yes, great. Yeah. Yeah.
Great advice. Yeah.
Senator McKinney said, no candidate is going to save you.
Don't. Right.
Stop.
That's
Stop.
the
Stop.
grand scheme.
Man, stop expecting that.
Barry Williams says no one should be comfortable with a sheriff circumventing laws the way he did without an ounce of shame. That's what his traffic stops look like too.
Mm.
Man. Ron's Reviews is saying Flood was shooting down Chinese balloons. There's other races going on. Flood and Blood going at it.
Yeah.
Barrel Blood and Flood are battling. And so he's reminding us about some of the things that happened there, some of the things he's done.
Dan Osborne's commercials is going crazy too. Been seeing those everywhere.
And Osborne had to send a cease and desist. Did you hear about this?
No.
Deb Fisher put out some stuff that was all the way untrue, and he got his lawyer team together and was like, put out some cease and desist on some of these ads.
Man.
These ads are out of all the way control. Somebody was saying that there was some inappropriate ads that were floating around that people were tripping on.
I mean, it's the time. It's the time.
It's the time, but it's more than I've ever seen it. It's more than I've ever seen it. It's more than I've ever seen it. And Obama was heavy in the streets on the social media, but Obama ain't got nothing on Tony Vargas, number one.
Yeah, I think that goes just with the general feeling that there's a lot at stake with this election.
And there's more money than ever.
Yeah,
and all that money goes to media. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
When this is all done, I don't have to challenge Vargas on game of one-on-one because I'm. Like he got hoops. He got them new hops or something. We'll see. We'll see, Tony Vargas. It is 7:55 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, we got our special guest that's waiting in the wings. We're going to bring him in a little early because I'm sure my man got many things to do today as he is running for his particular race as well. One of my favorite people on earth, brother Terrelle, Senator Terrelle McKinney, put some respect on his name, is in the chat. Good morning. How you doing, bro?
Good morning, y'all. How y'all doing?
All right, we're doing all right.
Hoodie season, I see.
Yeah,
Hoodie
tis the season. Tis the season. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing good, man. How y'all doing?
Can't complain. Might have to check on the Cornhuskers here in a bit, but you know.
Can we not talk about that?
He said, "Can we not talk about that?"
Well, what do you want to talk about? What's going on in your world, man? What's new with you?
Man, it's a lot going on, man. Last week I had surgery, so I was out all last week. So I missed I missed all the stuff that was going on last week. So
man,
I was
okay,
chilling. Yeah.
Okay, well, hoping for a speedy recovery.
You've had some peace then, huh?
Yeah, actually, it was kind of it was peaceful, but it was like, you know how like you always moving and like doing something, and you finally sit down and you like, man, I should be doing something.
Yeah.
Felt the whole week like, man, like I'm missing out. But it was cool though. Like I finally was able to like just sit down the whole week and just relax. That was good.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you got to recharge the battery. Sometimes you got to refresh, replenish to hit that campaign trail heavy, man. So
Yeah.
speaking of that, how has things been going? If I'm not mistaken, I saw you at Assembly of the Saints over the weekend at the breakdown the ballot. How was that? What's your take on that?
It was good. It was good engagement. Always good to engage with the people. I had that yesterday, and then we had a thing up at OTOC had a engagement as well yesterday. They had like 300 people there.
Nice. Okay.
So that was good. So it was a good day. So I mean it was good. Answered questions from people, and that's always good to answer the questions and see see what people are interested in and see what people are concerned about within the community. So I thought it was good.
Definitely, definitely.
Did it seem like people were really engaged in trying to find out who and what they want to vote for?
That's my thoughts.
Um, I think so. I think more so people just wanted to know like where people were at and why they were running. Like who are like more so like who are you?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Like who are you and why should I be supporting you more so than anything? Like I think people kind of know like what they want as far as change within the community. I
Hmm.
think at this point, especially so close to the election, they're just looking for like, okay, at this point, why should I be voting for you? Like, please, like at this last 2 week span, like, please tell me why should I be voting for you? And I think that's kind of like the questions we were getting, like at this last 2 week span. Just why, why, and like, what are you planning to do once you
Hmm.
get, like, what do you stand on?
Asking that real.
Yeah.
So we were just before you jumped on, we were talking about all the money being poured into the ads, and
Mhm.
I'm kind of based on what you're saying. I'm wondering, this being your second go around on the campaign trail, do you feel like there's a difference? Do you feel like there's seems like more at stake in this election, or more just in general? Do you feel like there's a difference in this election cycle than last time?
Uh, I don't know. I mean, last election cycle, I f- it was my first time ever running for office, but also I was running in a pandemic. Biden
True.
was running against Trump. I mean, Trump has been running every time I ran for office.
Hmm.
So to be honest, like people were scared last time too, like because Trump was running and Biden was running, so people had their concerns about Biden and like so. I mean, I feel as though the same sort of concerns people had last time they sort of got this time. Like, why should I vote for the either or of whatever? Like the good and bad of each, and people making whatever arguments on either side about each side. So, I mean, at the end of the day, the way I look at it is who's at the end of the day, you could pick the pros and cons of each, but for me, when I look at it from my voter perspective,
Hmm.
taking me out the picture, just me being a voter, and I'm looking at it as who do I look at, who do I see that is probably going to be the most beneficial for me at me and my community, and who do I see that is like, at the end of the day, more than not gonna have my best interest at heart. And that's where I'm looking at it. Like I don't think anybody ever agrees with everything a politician says or does.
Right. Right.
Like if you do, you probably need to be checked out.
Yeah.
Seriously. So I look at it that way. Like I don't expect to agree with everything. Like because I don't think you will. Because if you do, I probably will question a lot of things about you because then
Mm.
that means you're just going alone to get along. So I just try to look at it that way. Like I'm not going to agree with everything, but at the end of the day, if I could check off of more pros and cons, then I could probably live with it. But that don't mean I'm not going to hold you accountable and I'm not going to speak my mind when I disagree with something.
Yeah.
So
Man.
that's the way I look at it.
Something that you said in another time you were on that really stuck with us is just like don't number one, don't you ain't trusting no politicians to change nothing and make no real change or do anything. Like number one, that you got to put that in perspective. But then on top of that, like you're saying, I think the next thought for me is find out what these positions mean. You put people in seats. How does that affect your life directly? What power do they have over you? Number one, and then the next step would be to find out who has the most amount of positive checks that you can get behind. I feel like that you always come on and kind of remind us of that kind of balance. Like it's still up to us, no matter who's in there. But here's the logical way of a thinking man's way of figuring out what to do next instead of just going along with the crowd. So appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, go ahead.
Well, because I did want to get into kind of a pivot you mentioned as far as like candidates speaking directly to you, being aware of the issues like you mentioned. Yes, no candidate is going to save you, but you want representation. You want somebody who's still going to represent what it is that you yourself say you stand for. And I will say one change that I'm kind of seeing in this election is a conversation surrounding black men and the vote of black men, which is kind of picking up. There's a viral video swirling around of Obama speaking to a group of men, about challenging them about their thoughts of why they won't vote for Kamala Harris. And I wanted to speak to you, specifically, Brother McKinney, because you have said some things, about speaking to people and having conversations out and about getting specifically black men to vote. And there was this opportunity agenda for black men that's rolling out from the Harris campaign. Have you heard about this? Are you aware of this? Let's start there. Have you heard about this? Are you familiar with this
Yeah,
agenda?
about it. I think it's a decent effort. I really didn't agree with President Obama's approach to addressing black men because
Hmm.
at the end of the day, like the honest truth is, black men vote like 80 something percent Democratic every election.
Mm,
So black men are not the problem. Like at the end of the day, like we are demonized, but we honestly ain't the problem. Like people need to start checking white men and other nationalities to keep it up to keep it a buck. Like we ain't the problem. We just black men are looking at it like, look, at the end of the day, we are over incarcerated. We ain't like it undereducated. It's so many things. Like black men just saying like, look, we vote 80+% for y'all. We just want to know how are y'all gonna look out for us. It's not saying like we not gonna vote this way. We just want to know what is the plan to address our issues. Cause even when Jamie Harrison was here and we was having a conversation up at the Highlander, and I asked him, I was like, what is the plan to address like the mass incarceration essentially? Because that is big for me as a black man and a black voter. Like, although I'm a senator, I still want to know, like, what is your plan to address criminal justice in this country, like from a federal standpoint? Because, and then they bring up like some things, like I'm not saying they haven't been trying, because I understand Congress is like a problem. Like to get things done, there is an issue, and and you need more people in office to get things done. But I think at the core of it, black men just want to see a plan for us, and that's the truth. Like we want to see that we're thought about, and people could say, black men, y'all been, how do I say it? Basically, for so long, black men have basically like, because we're men, we've had like advantages and things like that. But we're at the end of the day, we've been black men in America. So whatever advantages we have been at the lowest totem pole of advantages.
mhm.
So and it's not to say that, because we're men that we probably did have some advantages. I'm not in denial of that. But at the end of the day, if you want my vote, you have to speak to me. You can't
Mhm.
disregard me saying, please speak to me. You can't say, uh, you know, we're going to do something for you. Don't worry about it. Just vote. If I'm saying you need to speak to me, you have to speak to me. So I think it's good that they're finally waking up and saying, we
Mm,
need to go speak to those people
yeah.
and speak to those men. So I think it's a good shift. I think
Okay.
somebody's probably got to them like, hey, y'all might need to wake up. So
Hmm.
I think that's good.
Yeah, somebody's definitely in their ear. Again, for those who aren't familiar, it's called the Opportunity Agenda for Black Men, coming directly out of the Harris campaign. It has 5 points, so I do want to kind of roll through that and let the chat chimers kind of decide for themselves if this is a good enough plan. Is it speaking directly to you and your issues in your life? Again, one of the main points is providing 1 million small business loans that are fully forgivable of up to $20,000 to Black entrepreneurs and others who have a good idea but don't have the resources, connections, and access to capital. Another part of the plan is championing education, training, and mentorship programs that help Black men get good paying jobs in high demand industries and lead their communities, including pathways to become teachers. Also supporting regulatory framework for cryptocurrency and other digital assets so Black men who invest in and own these assets are protected. Also launching a national health equity initiative focused on Black men that addresses sickle cell, diabetes, mental health, prostate cancer, and other health challenges that disproportionately impact Black men, and specifically, or finally legalizing recreational marijuana and creating opportunities for Black Americans to succeed in the new industry. So those are the main points of the opportunity agenda for Black men. Paul, you Black man, what you think?
Um, I don't know, man. It sounds. I mean, I think I agree with what Senator McKinney is saying right now. That it's good that they deciding to speak to acknowledge us. I don't know what good it's going to do or what any of the changes they're talking about making is going to actually happen. Or and I don't and I'd have to kind of contemplate a little bit more about these changes that they're saying they want to do. So I'm
Mhm.
not really sure, but I do kind of feel a little bit like if things don't go a certain way, they're gonna be trying to scapegoat stuff on Black men. I do feel a little bit like that.
Hmm.
I
Yeah,
feel like they're gonna try to blame. We have the lowest numbers in voting, but they're gonna blame we lost because y'all voted another way. You know what I'm saying?
but they can't. The numbers don't even back up them even trying to scapegoat us. Because at the end of the day, historically speaking, and probably even after this election, we are not going to be the voters that vote like as a demographic that don't vote as a voting bloc. Like to me, like hold other demographics of men accountable, white men accountable, Latino men accountable, Asian men accountable. Like we just got to keep it real. Like why, like Black men? It. I'm just saying, like we ain't the voting block that vote the least.
Right.
Got to be honest about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. One more question I got about all this political stuff too. The blue dot situation out here. You've been a part of things that's been going on here with this. I'm sure that you've been aware of all the national news and stuff about the blue dot and everything that's going on with our electoral vote. First of all, it's we still gonna have the blue dot, right? Is this is the winner take all thing over? Number one.
Yeah, that's over.
Okay.
I I would be, it would be a Hail Mary, miracle on ice for them back in this short of time to get us back in a session. Like
Yeah.
that ain't gonna happen.
But I will say, as I was watching some of these national news stories, they were talking about the blue dot. They did show us how the blue dot voted, or how this area voted over the years, and the blue dot only was blue like 3 times out of like 8 or 9 times. So
Yeah,
there's still the threat of a lot of people in our area voting Trump this time around too.
yeah. That's what's so crazy is it's not even been a guarantee. Like every time it's been possible to have a blue dot since it's been available. Like that, and they're so worried about it. It's like it's not even been a guarantee. But I mean, I think it's highly possible that it will happen this year. But nothing's ever guaranteed until it happens. Like I'm that type of person. I don't cast. I don't say a win is a win until it's actually happened.
Mm,
So I'm that guy.
man. Well, actually, I do want to pivot to a win that we can call a win. Talking about this latest Supreme Court decision to again allow felons to vote. Still have 5 days to register in person. What are your feelings on that? How do you feel like that will impact races?
I think it's good. Honestly speaking, I think it's good. Like I've had like uncles that came home from prison that hit me up like, "Hey, what's going on?
Mm,
Am I gonna be able to vote?" So they was very excited, when it happened and things like that. I'm still disappointed in the Supreme Court. I'm disappointed in the Attorney General and the Secretary of State
mm,
because just imagine if we had from July into now to get all those individuals registered and more educated about voting and all those type of things. I think the turnout would be a lot better. I,
mm-hmm.
a lot of individuals who did return home are going to vote. I
Yeah.
just not sure that it's gonna be as big as it could have been because of the confusion and the delay. Like I'm still happy that it happened, but because of the shenanigans that they did, I think it hurt a lot of like people and it discouraged a lot of people from possibly voting. That's the problem. But at the end of the day, I'm still happy that individuals who did return home from their sentence can vote because at the end of the day, man, I always hate the term ex felon
Mm-hmm.
because if just think about it, if somebody is an ex felon, that means there shouldn't be restrictions on where you can live. There shouldn't be restrictions on the jobs you can have. It's like think about it. There's no such thing as an ex felon because if you're an ex felon, like just logically think about it. I I,
Mm-hmm.
I like this society always talks about second chances, this second chance that, and then when people come home from prison, we demonize them. I hate that people are celebrating like this whole don't vote for the felon thing. Like at the end of the day, like if he did a crime, hold him accountable. But this whole felon thing and then saying we want felons to vote, like to me, you you losing me right there. I we celebrate people going to prison. I don't get happy when people go to jail.
Mm-hmm.
I th- Me coming up, bro, like I have had way too many people affected by the criminal justice system to ever celebrate a man or a woman going to jail, getting incarcerated, all that. Like that to me, that's nothing to celebrate because I know what it does to you. Like I had to visit my dad in prison and my family in prison. So I really get this. It really annoys me and it frustrates me to see people celebrating and like saying felon, don't vote for the felon, and this and that. Like to me, that's why we in the state we in. That's why we got mass incarceration
Mm,
in the country. That's why we got people cool with genocide across the world. Like it's the world is the way it is because we let a lot of things slide that we say we against and
mm.
not. But yeah,
Yeah,
so
that's a whole nother conversation. Whole nother conversation. But I'm definitely with you on that. But I did want to kind of build on something else that you're talking about as far as the criminal justice system. And this is a conversation that the chat we were having with the chat earlier as far as Aaron Hansen and the video that Paul shared on Friends of. There's a video surrounding Aaron Hansen talking about a recent carjacking that happened and the whole conversation about locking up youth, and again, even the ads that we've been seeing attacking Tony Vargas. Aaron Hansen is calling Tony, soft for letting individuals out of prison, but again, we have a overcrowding emergency that still has not been addressed. What are your thoughts about where we are in the criminal justice system, and more specifically, the conversation surrounding incarcerating youth, and the possibility that chiming back up in the next session?
I mean the reality of it is there has been a system created that puts our kids, for example, into a scenario to where if they do end up in trouble, there is no system to help them. Like literally, like if you talk to parents, they seek out help, and the system would tell them, until your kid commits a crime, we are not going to help them. That is the problem with the system. And like that's the issue here. Like they don't want to help our kids until they commit crimes, and then they call them criminals, and then they could do campaign ads and campaign off of our kids. They
Mm,
don't want to help our kids. They want to keep running campaigns, boosting their police budgets and building prisons for our kids and things like that. They really don't want to help. They want to create nonprofits for our kids to make more money off our kids and create fake awards for our kids and build fake mini jails across the street from Walmart for our kids. Like they
mm,
don't help our kids, bro. Like that's the reality. Because if they did, the conditions of North Omaha and South Omaha would be a lot different. There's too much money that flows through Omaha for for people who's supposed to care to to care. They literally raised $400 million for a park downtown. Imagine if you raised $400 million for the development of North and South Omaha. We
mm,
literally, when we was trying to when we did get $300 million for North and South Omaha, we was having conversations with foundations in the city to match that, and they wouldn't do it because they couldn't control it. Then you got people saying, we doing some weird stuff, which is not true at all. I never was in a fraternity. For people who like to make those comments, I don't control no money. DD controlled the money. DD messed up the process for you people who like to make statements. But that's the problem is the people who y'all like people like to smile with and laugh with are the problem. They don't want to fix it. That's the issue. And they fought against what we did. What we attempted to do was buck the system. And we did in some parts we did. But
mhm,
they pushed back against it because they lost control.
Mm.
That's the issue is we got a juvenile justice system that's controlled by state probation and by Douglas County that is screwed up. They got a jail that can't open because it failed inspections and things like that.
mhm,
It should have never been built in the first place because why are you building jails for kids in the 21st century? Just did never made sense to me in the first place. Why can't we invest in the community? But when Aaron Hansen says Tony Vargas is letting bad kids out of jail, what he's saying is he's letting black kids out of jail. Because look at the numbers of the population of kids in DCYC. It, 90 or like at least like 90% of them are black,
mm,
close to 90. Um,
mm,
and they getting let out because a lot of them ain't violent, bro. Like they not violent. They they might have stole a car or something, got caught in a car. Like the problem is the system is not helping them. We don't have services. Like people have, like we said, we got all these services in the community, but when you talk to these parents, they not getting help. When you talk to these kids, they don't feel heard. They don't feel
mhm,
like nobody listening to them.
mm.
That's the issue. Like we got all these experts in the community, but when you talk to the kids, they like these people don't care about us.
Man,
So something is wrong. Something is like
there's a
there's a ball
disconnect.
dropped somewhere.
Definitely a disconnect. Between what the children need, and really it seems like the likes of Brother Roscoe Wallace. That was kind of one of the only times when I had a conversation about what's going on with the youth. I'm like, yeah, he this guy gets it, as far as pouring into them, as far as really loving them, and seeing the effects of that on them. But unfortunately those types of efforts, as we see, I did want to acknowledge Jaqueline Yarborough, in on Friends of, made a comment under this video that we're talking about from Sheriff Hansen. And she says, if we never address the impact of poverty and childhood trauma, again, the lack of love that these children are getting. She says, and we keep pouring millions into temporary programs that get funded based on best practices, which do not clearly have measurable impact on our kids. Meanwhile, programs that do intensive, culturally responsive work, i.e., like the work of Brother Roscoe Wallace, that are created by people in our community, go unfunded and receive little to no referrals from juvenile probation and the county's home program. Also, if the county pays for services, it's only for 12 weeks. So it's structured to promote recidivism. I've argued until I'm blue in the face about the lack of proper investment in prevention and intervention. We can't keep funding what doesn't work. So there you go. Shout out to Sister Jaquelia Yarborough for dropping that on Friends of.
Yep. Appreciate that. Just want to jump into the chat real quick. Maggie Miller Jenkins is asking, going to keep pushing the question, Senator McKinney, litigation against Bob for abuse of power and illegal actions against the civil rights of returning citizens. Should there be some litigation? Is there litigation in the future here of they pretty much broke the law, and even though the Supreme Court came back and did that, they need to kind of pay for the time that they spent.
Because I've been out because I was out all last week, I haven't been able to talk to too many people yet, but I think people should explore that. I think there was an injustice that occurred. Honestly, like, to tell people that they couldn't register to vote, that's crazy. So I mean,
It became a law that they could vote now, and
it was
Right.
definitely an injustice that occurred. So I'm not sure. I have to follow up with some people this week to see if people are seeking that out. But there was definitely an injustice that occurred.
Well, there is a post. It looks like Brother Sherman Wells and Brother Kasim shared. Not necessarily a lawsuit, but it does state that the NAACP is looking to get names of individuals impacted by the short registration date. That the Supreme Court has restored felons or returning citizens right to vote. The NAACP is working to extend the time people have to register to vote. Please email Omaha NAACP at AOL.com. Sheesh, AOL. Omaha NAACP at AOL.com is the email address if you know somebody who has been impacted by the situation.
I'm very curious of how they're going to extend somebody's availability to register.
I don't know. That's what the post said. That's what and that's directly from the NAACP.
That's interesting. I have to look at that.
Yeah. But I did, before time gets too far, I did have another question that I want to pivot into that somebody mentioned as far as the legitimacy and the legality of some of the moves from Bob Evnen and the Secretary of State and the Attorney General, having some questions about the medical marijuana situation. Again, I know you said that you've been out for the last week, but have you paid attention to what's going on with that situation?
I mean, man, they just they just throwing Hail Marys at that because they know as soon as people vote, like, it's gonna pass most likely. But nothing is guaranteed, right? But if it does pass, like, they just don't want it to pass. Like, that's all it's saying.
So
me.
that's kind of my question. As a senator, I wanted to frame the question to you as far as again, these are, if I'm not mistaken, Secretary of State, Attorney General. They're appointed by the governor, right? So they're not elected officials.
They are elected
They're
officials.
okay. They're elected officials. So that even fortifies my question even more, because it's almost feeling like, to what extent are they derelict of duty? This seems like almost the second time where they're going and spitting in the face of the will of the people. As elected officials, if I'm not mistaken, their duty is to enforce and activate the will of the people. And again, we already know that the people, elected officials, the legislature, y'all,
I guess
passed the law.
who's gonna hold them accountable when
There you go.
9 times out of 10, when they run for re-election, they're gonna get reelected.
Specifically in this medical marijuana situation, it seems like it's getting past, though, like just telling election officials not to follow the law. As Nebraska Examiner is reporting, allegations of witness tampering have surfaced this week as the latest wrinkle in the ongoing lawsuit and investigations against Nebraska's 2 medical cannabis petitions. Nebraska Attorney General's office defending Secretary of State Bob Evnen in the lawsuit denied any wrongdoing at a Friday hearing with Lancaster County District Court Judge Susan Strong. Again, Nebraska Examiner reports at that pretrial hearing, Judge Strong heard arguments on the allegation and ruled no ethical violations took place. But again, this whole fight is getting pretty contentious again, as 2 challenges towards the petitions for medical cannabis are ongoing. And also, I would like to, remind you that the people did vote on medical marijuana to pass in the state, and then the Supreme Court came back and shot it down. So, just kind of going to get your feeling like, it's feeling like, again, the state is directly going against the will of the people, which is not their duty.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be real interesting because even if, so let's say there's a lot of issues with these ballot initiatives this year, because let's say it passed the medical uh the medical marijuana ballot initiatives passed, right? And then for whatever weird reason, the courts say there was something wrong with the signatures of the notaries and says they're invalid. It passed, right? So do you invalidate the vote of the people? Then
That's essentially what it's seeming like they're trying to do.
Then the other issue, which is going to be really interesting, is you got the other ballot initiatives, the abortion ballot initiatives.
And school choice.
But but the abortion ballot initiatives are conflicting, right? What if they both pass? What happens? It's going to be real interesting. It it's going to be a lot of issues in the courts. It's going to be a lot of problems, and our courts are not favorable.
Again, going back to the judges' races.
Right. We're definitely going to have to come back part maybe some of the rest of this season. If you come back to us on Mondays, we can kind of start breaking some of those kind of things down here. The process is down for that, because you're right. Like, what happens? I don't even know the process. What happens is gonna go to Nebraska Supreme Court. If who makes the final decision? Like, there's a lot here that's gonna that's kind of in question when you say it like that, when you're bringing that up that way.
It's happened. Again, the people voted for medical marijuana, and the Supreme Court came back and challenged it on basically saying that there were 2 different bills wrapped up into one, and basically, as Senator McKinney said, invalidated the voice of the people.
For sure. Yep. Yeah, it's like you said, not favorable. Not that's the right word. It doesn't seem like the court's very favorable on our end. I want to go ahead and get this wrapped up here. It's about 8:30 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, before we get out of here, I want you to let us know about how your campaign's going. What's top of mind for you? What are the things that that we can do, that you can have us act on?
My campaign is going cool. 2 weeks away from an election. I feel good about it. Got people out canvassing.
Nice.
Still engaging with the people as much as I can, and just focused on the work, and that's about it. Reminding people that Friday is the last day to register to vote. Go out to the election commission if you haven't already. Besides that, man, just staying busy as much as possible. Finally getting back outside after being out a week, so I'm cool. I'm going down to NSP today for a Circle of Concerned Lifers symposium to engage with the guys again and just talk to them. So I'm always excited about that. They always got some great ideas on just policies and things like that. So
that's why we need them to vote.
So that's always cool.
Yeah, that's what's up. Appreciate that.
Okay. Well, yeah, appreciate that, man. Definitely wishing for a speedy recovery for you. Again, surgery is never fun, but it looks like things are on the up and up. So yeah, definitely best wishes on the campaign trail and safe travels, bro.
All right, man. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right, man. Always a pleasure. Good to see you. We'll speak soon. Maybe at the BAA meeting here at the end of on Sunday as well. So, lots coming up that will be crossing paths, I'm sure. But hang in there, bro. We'll see you soon.
Yep. Thank you. Peace.
Peace.
Peace, peace. All right. Always a pleasure to get some words from Brother McKinney. I always walk away with some jewels, man. Somebody was saying that to me before. They were saying that every time that brother comes on, we get authentic, you know, plain worded speech about what's
Hmm.
going on. Like you know what I'm saying? Like there's no
Hmm.
fluff. Maybe the only politician I know, period, that don't come with the fluff. So so that's what's up. Well, let's take a quick break. We're going to come right back. There's a couple things I want to definitely dive into. A little
Okay.
bit of a lightning round. I kind of want to dive into the chat a little bit as well. Appreciate you guys sticking around here past the 8 o'clock hour for a little bit more discussion. And shout out to Senator McKinney for coming through with words of wisdom. We'll be right back. Again, stay tuned. You're listening to First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
I'll be, but to be God. We'll be right back, y'all. Welcome back. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
All be, buddy to God. All
Hey.
you chat chambers, ghost listeners. Lots of new media things popping up too, man. There's no excuse to be able to meet these candidates and find folks. Shout out to the cats over there at 87.9. DJ Mr. Soul holding it down over
Man.
there. I mean, you know they got the digital channel over there, but they've been opening up and sitting down and having some talks with the politicians as well, so that they can do the same thing, kind of get to know who's who, what's going on, and try to help inform and make some decisions. You know, I look at the camp over there as that's the entertainment camp over there. They got the jams playing, man, the adult contemporary jams and all the new funk and stuff going on over on this channel, strictly music channel. But they cannot ignore the fact that we're in a
Man.
situation right now where we got to sit down and find out what's going on here.
Can't get away from it. Can't get away from it at all. Tis the season.
Yeah, man, it's the season. It's also the season for childhood health.
Hey.
Children's environmental health is going on right now
You
too.
did there.
The October, yeah, man. Children's first of all is Children's Health Month. This whole month of October, so it's going down. It says Children's Health Month. EPA will be recognizing this month by spreading awareness about the importance of protecting children, especially those who are most vulnerable from environmental threats where they live, learn, and play. And it's very important for us to be spreading this message around because that's what's happening here in our area, probably more than others, because the
Man.
coal plant and all these other places been messed up. And this particular week is National Lead Poisoning Prevention Week. So our friends over there at the city planning department that are handling the lead remediation hit us up, and they were saying, "Hey, we're getting ready to really hit it hard because there's some things that we can do." So we'll be giving you some more information on what you can do here. You can kind of sign up for some training on how to keep the kids safe, what to do when it comes to the lead, and so on and so forth. But just want to acknowledge Children's Health Month of October each year. We're gonna come back to this because children's health, most important thing for real. And
Yeah.
then we just happen to be in the week of started today, actually, National Lead Poisoning Prevention Week. So this is our chance to really kind of get that last little bit of lead out of the environment in North Omaha. They've done a really good job of getting a lot out, checking a lot of properties, remediating a lot of properties as well, and really kind of down to the last small little percentage of places that need to be checked and everything. So if you still are one of those places, please reach out to the city and let them know, man. Hey, send me to the lead department here. I got to get this lead out of my yard.
Yeah,
and
man.
make that happen. So shout out to them for that in a big way. Also shout out to Ashley Spivey, who's running. We already know she's running for District 13. She's one of the hardest working women in the game right now, man.
All
For
right.
real, everywhere, all the time, all at
Many jobs
once.
done.
Yeah, man. She put this little voter save the date out there. We just talked about it. Friday is the last day to register. Looks like so. So again, everybody's mad dash trying to get that registration out of there because it'll be time in 2 weeks. As of tomorrow, it'll be 2 weeks before it'll be
Man,
November 5th day to vote.
clock is
And
ticking.
clock is ticking, and all this stuff is all this stuff is speeding up and going down at the same time in a big way.
Oh
So
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
yeah, man. Quick shout out to Drunk Ship Coffee for always being down and also supporting us as well. Drunkship.coffee, drunkshipcoffee.com.
There you go.
Go ahead and order yourself a bag, order some merch, and get down, man. It's a family owned coffee company that sources a particular bean out of one farm in Ethiopia. And yeah, highly roast that in the way that it's supposed to. So get your grinders because it's a full bean, and go ahead and order your bag, man. And shout out to them for supporting First Sky Omaha. If you want to support First Sky Omaha, just hit us up, firstsky.omaha@gmail.com, and we'll continue with some of those things as well. So,
Yes,
man,
yes.
and don't forget, you got to write Miss Yarborough in if you want some change here coming up in 2 weeks as well for Douglas County Commissioner District 3. If you missed the interview that we had with her, I highly suggest you go back and check it out on YouTube. It was a very enlightening powerhouse interview. She really kind of put it down what was going on and gave us a very strong feeling about what it is that she would do in this position. So if you're so inclined, remember you're gonna have to write her in. So make sure you get the name spelled right. Yarbro, Yarbro. Put the dot there and do your thing. So shout out to her for doing her thing as well. And man, it's the kind of the season of the black woman
Man.
doing big things around here.
Big time. Big time. So
Yeah, bro.
there you go.
Appreciate it. Kind of want RG's reminding me to put the P on the drunk ship. That's right. Anthony Rogers Wright is in the chat. He says, "I also hope at some point we can talk about this election at the state and local level has become really toxic."
Yeah, I mean, kind of talked about it with the ads. If there's something else you're seeing,
That's what pops in my head is these
yeah,
ads, man.
yeah, man. Anything else jumping out, speak on it.
There you go. Michael Watts is also saying, "Let us not forget about the toxic coal plant impacting young people."
Yep,
Yep,
yep, yep. Shout
most
out to
definitely.
Sister Cheryl Weston getting that Washington Post write up. Definitely check that out on Friends of.
There you go. But Michael Watts in the chat said, "Hope the Nebraska Democratic Party and community leaders are seeing what happens when you let young ones like Senator McKinney lead." I
Man,
couldn't agree
hopefully.
more, bro.
Oh, and then hopefully, Sister Ashley Spivey's up next. Definitely, and I also, if anybody made it to, she had a canvassing event over the weekend. If anybody made it to that, definitely love to get a take. I know a few chat timers expressed that they would be interested in, knocking some doors for Sister Spivey, stepping with Spivey. Let us know.
Yeah, I got a chance to go out there with her and walk around there, see what she got going on. Just with ease, man, and everybody she runs into just loves talking to her. So
Yeah,
it's a great thing. It's a great thing. So I highly suggest. I mean, everybody's kind of looking for some way to help and some way to do some things. This is the best way. Senator McKinney could use some people on his team. Ashley Spivey, everybody that you're supporting can use of making a phone call, doing a phone bank thing,
man.
doing some door knocking, all that stuff. So for sure, appreciate that very much. Pops in the chat. I just saw. He said it was such an honor to have a shout out in the weekly wrap. Thank you so much. Yeah, man. Yeah, we got Pops in the weekly wrap. We kind of are doing a little bit of a spotlight on folks each week. So we did a little spotlight on him on the weekly wrap last week. Chad Chambers know him
Nice.
as Pops. Paul B. Allen third. My Pops is not only actual family, but one of First Sky Omaha's biggest supporters in every way. He is Chad Chimer, reoccurring member, citizen journalist, researcher, griot, music contributor, and more. Thanks, Pops.
Man.
So appreciate you, man. And I appreciate all of you, each and every one of you that especially the ones that are reoccurring members of the channel, man. You
Thank
already
you.
know nothing runs without a couple bucks behind it. So
Man.
we do our jobs and then we try to continue this thing as well. And it gets tough sometimes because we're not taking certain money from certain entities. and we kind of are doing it with the most integrity as we can, because really this is about y'all and the conversation that we're having with you.
Man.
So this is what this is about, and we're gonna continue to make it that, and and with your help, we'll continue to have these conversations and hopefully get some movement on some action
Yeah,
here.
yeah. Big time, big time. So yeah, just about 15 minutes left in this thing. I know you maybe got some haps. I have a few lightning round items to jump to. What you think?
Yeah, I'm trying. I'm kind of just scouring the chat here. We want to make sure that we give people opportunity to speak. This is kind of the discussion hour here, so I appreciate
Yeah.
everybody who's putting things in. Anthony Rogers Wright is all the way on the other side of the world chiming in. I appreciate you, bro. He says he's talking about candidates accusing other candidates of pretending to be Democrats, lies about ties to Wall Street, lies about being anti-union, and big lies about yard signs being stolen. Oh, they lying about that, huh? Okay,
Mm.
interesting. There's a lot of lying going on. There's a lot of toxic stuff happening right now in a big way. So I appreciate that. I see you guys going back and forth. Disrespectful when you look at how the Nebraska Democrat Party has not supported their own black candidates.
Mm.
The Nebraska Democratic Party has been supporting their black candidates. It's the national Democratic Party that's not been doing that much.
Right.
Anthony Rogers Rice says, "Yep, Comrade Michael is right about the coal plant of Eric Williams is running unopposed after lying to the people for years. That's unacceptable." What was Eric Williams lying about? The coal plant getting shut down. It feels like that the organization. It feels like we just did an article on the coal plant. Probably is not going to get shut down again.
Mm-hmm.
Kick down the street again because
Yeah.
of all the big tech coming and the big tech that's here. So yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot going on there with that for sure. We appreciate everybody that's keeping their eye on this stuff and really kind of calling it out. That's what we're here to do. That's what the citizen journalism thing is for us to do.
News
So
gang. News gang.
news gang is going down. We'll talk more about that soon. But in the meantime, between time, let's go ahead and jump into a little lightning round. But he got some things he wants to let you know about.
Yeah, some
Absolutely.
things on top of the brain, let the people know about. This, first of all, is definitely news that we have to get into today. As I mentioned at the top of the show, some changes to what's going on with the Omaha police. Again, following the most recent police shooting, again, another brother losing his life at the hands of police. Seems Chief Todd Schmaderer saw fit to change some of the training that Omaha police goes under, according to WOWT. A news release posted Friday says that all OPD officers will take a virtua simulation training called a shoot don't shoot, which is basically designed to enhance decision making in high stress scenarios and reinforce critical judgment during use of force situations by way of immersive real world situations. So it's essentially a video trainer where officers can learn to make better split second decisions. In the press release, in the statement, Chief Schmaderer says, "We take each officer involved in incident very seriously and are dedicated to providing our officers with the best training available. This additional training will help our officers make split second decisions with precision, ultimately contributing to the safety and trust within our community." So yeah, is that enough? Or y'all let me know what y'all think about that. Or is that a happy welcomed change from Omaha police? Or would you like to see more? Again, let your mind be free, let your voice be heard. In other news, this is definitely something that I feel like will be good news. Something we've talked about as far as internet connection around the really the state, and it looks like that might be something that's coming. According to Omaha World Herald, Nebraska is on track to reach a goal that once seemed impossible, which is connecting virtually every home, no matter how rural, to high-speed broadband by the end of 2028. That's what the legislature's Transportation and Telecommunications Committee was told Friday at an interim study hearing to monitor the status of broadband expansion in the state. We know that some people in the community, friend of First Sky, Brother Bill King, was kind of working in that area, trying to get internet on some of the reservations and things like that with King's Communications. And again, we talked about moving into the 21st century, the importance of having internet at all areas, especially paying bills, registering to vote, all types of things. So again, are we here for that? Look into
Yeah.
that again, 2028.
Shout out to
Is
Ho
that good
Chunk.
news?
Shout out to Ho Chunk that's been doing a bunch of that kind of work too for the Winnebago tribe, especially getting their broadband happening. So yeah, it's very important stuff. I'm a little skeptical, hoping that it's not going to turn into something that they try to start charging folks for. They're doing it, to me, they're doing it under this kind of premise that it's for people that can't afford it and can't get it in their area and so on and so forth. Just don't want nobody to get set up. I do think it's a
Yeah, it's a
necessary
good
thing.
point.
It's
It's a
like
good point.
it's definitely like a utility now, but we pay for them utilities. So what does that mean?
Yeah. But again, is it a need? Because there's some bills, some services that you can't have rendered unless you have access to the internet. So especially in light of the pandemic and things like that. Yeah, it's a good point. It's a good point. Is that a
Yeah,
right? Is it a need? We'll see. But something that's definitely needed in other news, this coming out of the Omaha World Herald as well, is commemorating and recognizing our missing persons. I'm thinking of our brother Levi Blake, who again we covered his story, went missing last year and was ultimately found about a year later. But again, how many other missing stories, and especially in our community, do we hear about or not hear about? Let's be honest. And they kind of fall by the wayside, or the story isn't followed, and ultimately, people's loved ones are forgotten. But this year was the inaugural Nebraska Missing Persons Day, launched this year.
mm,
So again, yeah, this is something that I wasn't really aware of, but in light of some of the individuals in our community that have gone missing, having children, this is definitely something that I find myself thinking about a lot more. And the day will be acknowledged every year, October 17th. The day of, let's see, yeah, again, every year, October 17th, the event featured 5 speakers who have loved ones who are missing, and it featured cases of 15 other missing people. So, again, especially, in light of the Levi Blake situation, discussions about how do we handle elderly people being missing. Again, there's some people who aren't even considered missing because of circumstances surrounding, their case. So, again, definitely thinking and remembering our loved ones who have gone missing.
for sure.
And last but not least, man, this is on a high note. Want to end on a high note. Shout out to Flatwater Free Press for this write up, recognizing a young sister who is making waves. Apparently, a young Jade Dorsey, who sang at a recent Tim Walls event, is making waves. A 12-year-old from North Omaha could possibly be making her way to the inauguration festival again if things align. But yeah, just check it out, man. We're all about youth. We're all about talent, and Flatwater has a whole write up on this young sister and her family, again, who apparently wowed not only Tim Walls but the likes of Democratic Party's top leadership at a recent event where she sang. A lot of people described her voice as God's gifted. So again, yeah, shout out to that young sister. Yeah, yeah, yeah. There you go, young
Jade.
Jade Dorsey.
Yeah, man, we got to check into that. Check the voice out.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah. I kind of seen some clips, seen some pictures. It looked like people, she was blowing the roof down, man. So
Yeah, man.
yeah, shout out to that young sister.
That's what's up. Appreciate that very much.
Yeah. But that does it for the lightning round.
Okay, cool. Appreciate that, man. Anthony Rogers right in the chat said we need a lightning round jingle.
Okay.
I think you might be right. The only jingle we do have though is
Hey.
What's happening? What's going down?
that's right, y'all. We ain't done this in a while, but it's time for the haps. We'll do a little bit of haps coming up. Also, we've been speaking about some haps that just passed. We appreciate everybody that's joined the chat and told
Yeah,
us about
man.
some of the haps that's passed and some of the things that you guys have done and attended just recently. Most definitely appreciate those reports. Coming up though, we got the free fall activities for the kids. This is going to be an ongoing thing. 18th, the 25th is coming up again. The latest one, Friday, October 25th, from 5 to 7. This is at the Healing Roots African Diaspora Garden, and
Yeah.
this is something that Clarice Dombach is putting together as well. She's holding it down at that garden, and I just love the idea that there's a garden that our young kids can come and go play at and go get their hands in the dirt, grow some stuff, do stuff, hang out and have a good time. So free fall activities for the kids. This is happening. Definitely look this up. We'll put this in Friends for Sky Omaha so you can get some more information on what's going on there. But it's at 3617 North 24th Street. Healing Roots African Diaspora Garden. Definitely go check this out. Bring the kids 5 to 7. See what they got going on over there for real. So shout out to her for doing that in a
Yeah.
big way. We
Doing
already
it for
talked
the
about Mr.
babies.
Yeah, say again.
Doing it for the babies.
Man, got to teach the babies how to grow some things, man.
Yeah, man.
We already talked about Mr. K's magical Christmas party that's coming up as well. And you have to sign up for this. He's got a link here. I'll put in the chat right now. This is coming up. Registrations are open now. In order to get to this, he's kind of everything he's doing these days is kind of selling out. So you might
Man.
want to go ahead and get in there early on that in a big way. Shout out to Mr. K and the big things he's doing over there in a big way. We also talked earlier about this pink pancake feed that's happening on the 26th. It's a health fair from 9 to 12 at North High. All you can eat pancakes from the Pancake Man.
Flapping them jacks.
Man, the Pancake Man is famous around here. I'm gonna have to,
Yeah, man.
I'm
Look,
gonna have to turn into the Flapjack Man and battling.
you ain't never had no oh man. Pause pancakes.
Man, we used to have a place even back in California called the Flapjack Shack, and that was the joint, boy.
Okay.
My old dirty South Flapjack.
The Flapjack Shack. Okay.
More information on this, call 402-250-1716. Of course, this October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month as well. And also, don't forget, men get breast cancer too. I'm going to go get myself checked here in a minute.
Yeah. Hey.
See what's going on around here. But approximately 1 out of every 100 breast cancer diagnosed in the U.S. are in men. An estimated 530 men will die from MBC this year. That's more than the number of men who will die from testicular cancer. That's insane. So, yeah, man, I just want to motivate everybody. It's one thing about us. We a couple of brothers that we ain't like the old school that don't want to go to the doctor. We go to the doctor in a hot minute.
Man, big time.
Out of my head is hurting right here. I got to go to the doctor. I'm gonna make an appointment right now.
I don't know about all that, that bill, but yeah.
Well, yeah, if you got insurance, I'll be at the clinic, bro. Like, hey, sliding scale, people.
I mean, yes, good check.
Yeah, appreciate that. Appreciate you guys, and there's a lot more things going on too. But like I said, we'll put that in Friends of First Sky Omaha. We want to make sure that everybody knows what's going on, and if you have any haps, please do the same. Put them in Friends of First Sky Omaha, the group page, so we can know what's going on. Go ahead.
We are forgetting one, the kind of, and as this week launches off, you mentioned it earlier about the Lead Prevention Week. There's actually an event this weekend, the 26th, for those who are child care providers, or if you have young folk at home. Yeah, there's an event, I believe, at Creighton, I want to say.
Oh man. Let me see if I can grab. I got. It's you're right. It's right here in front of me. Thank you for reminding me about that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Again, it's time sensitive. It's going down this weekend, Saturday, October 26th, from 11 to 12. Okay, not Creighton, UNO. There we go. At the Barbara White's Community Engagement Center. That's 6400 South University Road. But yeah, this is for everyone is welcome, but specifically parents, teachers, child care providers. We know we have a few in the chat. Also, what does it say? Real estate agents. Yeah, anybody. Again, learn the dangers and steps to keeping children safe from lead poisoning, especially in our communities with the history of redlining, knowing that the opportunity or the chances of our children engaging and having lead poisoning are heightened. And some of the things are behavioral issues, learning disabilities, some of the things that they say are natural in our kids might just be from lead poisoning. You never know. So get them tested, get checked, and get your land remediated.
There you go. Appreciate you. I see Jahid Shabazz is in the chat. Good morning. Didn't get the chance to talk about any of your comments yet, so I appreciate you coming in. Said we are up against systems and budgets. We need a counter system people can plug in and out of, and send in our game bulldogs as leadership. He says they want non-threatening, soft-toe Democrats that will carry policies that are detrimental to our community.
Oh, so on that note, BAA meeting this Sunday as well. Speaking of that, speaking of coming up with a counter system people can plug in and out of.
Yeah,
Black Agenda Alliance.
I highly suggest you tap in with Brother Kasim on that. It is the family meeting that's happening on Sunday, so that we definitely want to be able to speak about the things we got to speak about in our community in a big way. So tap in with Brother Kasim on that. And yeah, definitely go check it out if you can.
There you go.
Right on, man. It's about 4 minutes left. We kind
Okay.
of
Doing
got done
good.
with the half on time and everything.
Yeah, doing good on time.
Stacey Jean in the chat is saying I had to drag my husband and brother to the doctor, so situations happen to their detriment. Men, please go get yourselves checked out. I'm trying to
Yeah,
tell you,
man.
we got to lose that stigmatism of I ain't going to the doctor. I know most of it is that I'm too broke to go. That's really what it is.
Man, I'll be honest. Yeah, you know, that bill just for them to tell me to take some Tylenol has definitely deterred me a couple times from going to the hospital. But
Pour some tussin on it and keep it moving, bro.
man, you know what I'm saying? Take a nap and be all right. Be all right.
Big vapor rub on your chest, keep on rolling.
Man.
RG is saying, look, man, that health insurance from the job ain't just for show. If you got
Good
that
point.
9 to 5, make sure that you go ahead and get that insurance with that 9 to 5. You can for real, for real.
And if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken, there is open enrollment. Speaking of insurance and things like that for Medicaid,
Is there?
I believe so. If it's not upon us, it's coming up.
Well, let's look into it. I'm gonna have to look into it myself
Yeah,
this
yeah,
time
yeah.
around.
Hey,
See what's
hey,
up.
there you go. That's the point.
Also, Anthony Anthony Rogers Wright's kind of rubbing some stuff in people's face right now.
Hey, they did get stopped though, man. Hey, Chiefs still undefeated though. You know, Midwest.
Okay. We'll come back to his other comment in a minute. Major Miller Jenkins says, "Can we send some love to Lebanon, Syria, Yemen, Congo, Sudan, and Palestine, all suffering genocides under our tax-paid bombs?"
Yes.
I checked out. I listened to a episode of This American Life last Saturday. That well, I don't know if it was Saturday, but the most recent one, and they really dug into what some of the people were doing at the Democratic National Convention to try to get their attention, to try to get somebody's ear, and I gotta say it didn't sound good at all. It was bad news. It was bad news the way the Harris campaign handled that. I highly suggest you go check it out. This American Life. You can check out the latest episode there. Go to their website and just check it out and listen to it. Yeah, it's unfortunate that the people whose family members are getting bombed in places are not able to pull our politicians' ears on some things.
Man.
Some of these politicians you can't even speak a regular sentence to, like Trump and them. But other ones that are actively avoiding conversations ain't good either. We're in a bad situation all the way around.
And I will say that's probably been we haven't talked about it much and haven't made comments, but personally, that's been my biggest knock on the Democrats as of late is, you know, beyond the pandering to the black vote that, you know, is always a par for the course. Most recently, their stance on what's going on in the Middle East and you know, even when we've spoken to Democratic candidates about their stance and getting the talking points, I have to agree. Yeah, I'm not happy about what I'm hearing from the Democratic Party on that. And you know, in other news, that it has been recognized and acknowledged that Israel is stopping some of the aid from going into Palestine, basically breaking international law. And all you know, although that has been acknowledged, the United States is still sending weapons and aid and stuff to Israel. So yeah, there's a lot to be discussed, and of course, the connection between Cop City and some of the police training. Speaking of OPD and their training, some of the training that United States police forces have, you know, shared with the Israeli police forces, directly impacting those genocides and that oppression. So yeah, there's a whole can of worms, a whole other conversation to be had on that, but we acknowledge.
And we will be having it, so stay tuned for that. Also, Sue Kessler Hagen's giving us a little information. She's saying on open enrollment, she's talking about now through the middle of December for Medicare and Medicaid.
There
Appreciate
you
you.
go.
He was
There you
right.
go.
He was right. Also, I'm gonna go ahead and get back to Anthony Rogers Wright, who wanted to take a moment to congratulate the New York Yankees on their S-1B win.
I-
Hey, that's great.
but you a West, they going against the Dodgers.
Yeah,
You
Dodgers got them. LA,
oh,
baby.
okay. Oh, so that
LA,
okay. That's
LA, baby. 901. If you believe in the concept of time, we're gonna end it on that note. Appreciate everybody that joined into the chat. I'm sorry if I didn't get to all your comments, but I highly suggest you go back and check out both YouTube and Facebook and read
yeah.
the comments. See the show in its entirety. Read the comments. Very great comments. Very great. Just very interesting and intelligent comments and questions and conversations that are going on in the chat, which is what this is all about. And it's a high level, high energy, high vibration, respectful conversations, and I'm all for it, and I appreciate it, and I can only find it here, so I can't tell you how much I appreciate y'all on this.
Man.
Please tell a friend that you think is in that same spirit that wants to come and contribute and be able to speak up and get their voice heard as well, and discuss some things so that we can kind of have these conversations and move them into the ability to understand them completely, which will us into some action on whatever it is that we need to act on. So, shout out, appreciate you guys very much. And with that, we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. Buddy, you got some words for the people?
Yeah, RG as always trying to push us for 3 hours, but not gonna happen. Not today. Not today.
RG like Don Klein out the paint, Kimra Snipes for president, and Paul being Buddy 3 hours. That's
Yeah,
the main
I
message.
almost feel like he got those comments like just is in a note somewhere. He just copy and paste them into the chat.
A stream deck, you just push a
Yeah,
button.
yeah. But again, we appreciate you for tuning in. At any rate, even if you're asking for more hours, you know, it's rule of show business. Leave them one more. So check us out next Wednesday. Next episode on Wednesday, same time, same place, right here on First Guy Omaha in the morning. Paul B. Buddy the God. Of course, big shout out to Senator Terrelle McKinney. Put some respect on his name for taking the time out of his schedule to come and speak with us. And yeah, until next time, in the meantime, between time, y'all take care of yourselves. Paul B.
Yo.
Take it away, man.
Working on some guests for Wednesday. It might be another Women's Wednesday coming up. Women, I've been delivered. Going down. Pop's favorite day as well. Appreciate your Pops.
Yeah,
Pops is a great show and love starting the week off right like this. See y'all on Wednesday. Appreciate you very, very much. And everybody else that came on through and seeing what's up. Sue Kessler Hagen says, have a great week, everyone. Also, best news every time. So unique and needed. Miller Jenkins.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. Okay.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you guys, man. I really do appreciate everybody who contributes and keeps us on some things as well. It's hard to keep track of everything. So we need all minds on deck in order to be able to keep track, understand, provide some understanding, some context, figure out what's important, figure out what we need to be directing some efforts to and some organization and all those good things, man. So we're here for that in a big way. We're here for that. So we appreciate it. Malcolm X says we're not outnumbered, we're out organized.
Man.
Let's get it together. And
Speaking
also, mija, if your tortilla can rise, so can you.
Bro.
Always remember that.
Oh, rise up indeed. And just last thing, speaking of that, on the organizing tip, again, we are organizing news gang. Just rolled out the new website, firstguyomaha.com. Check it out, new and improved, firstguyomaha.com. Again, we are looking to build our news gang. We're looking for you, the citizens, the people in the community that are boots on the roots, that are living, have the lived experience, who can speak more about your story than you. So again, a citizen journalist is not hard. You know, if you have something that you're interested in the community, you have some questions that you want to have answered, again, holler at us and we'll help you have your voice heard, have your mind free. And again, we'd love for you to contribute to the new and improved firstguyomaha.com. Again, if you're interested, Magic Miller Jenkins, the email is firstskyOmaha@gmail.com. Again, that's firstskyOmaha@gmail.com. Again, 1ST skyomaha@gmail.com.
Or you can go to the new website, firstskyOmaha.com, and hit the join button. The join button. Yeah, there you go, man. Hit that join button and sign right on up and let us know. You can, like I said, send us a direct email to firstskyOmaha@gmail.com if you want to speak directly. And while you're over there at the new site too, man, check out the shirts. We're still selling the merch in order for us to keep this going. Number one, help local artists get down. Number two, and most importantly, fighting the towers, fighting the efforts of the Underwood Tennis Group. Paul Philman is over in Underwood right now helping to fight.
Man,
fight's still going on for sure. We still, and part of the proceeds will go to the Underwood's tennis group because we're still trying to help everybody have some better conditions, especially in OHA's public tower situation.
Yeah, man.
In big way, all the towers. So go over there, hit the store button, and check us out and cop a shirt. And we got more stuff on the way as far as that is concerned too. But yeah, thank you. She said, "Oh, you're saying for the citizen journalism? Yeah, you can hit us up directly for if you want to get down with the citizen journalism. And that's firstskyOmaha@gmail.com for sure.
Yep.
Right on. RG, man.
That's our cue, man. Let's get up out of here.
Yeah, we gotta hurry up and get out of here. Keep counting the minutes now. We got to go. All right, y'all. We'll see you on Wednesday. Take care of yourselves. Stay cool.
Peace.
By the way, Van Glorious. This is protected by the red, the black, and the green.